Welcome back to Everyday Kentucky. What'd you say?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared? Because there's a police officer sitting here?
Yeah.
And you have a rap sheet this long?
I know, right?
The Bluegrass Crime Stoppers encourages members of the community to assist local law enforcement in the fight against crime.
That's right. So this morning we are joined by David Ashford and Sergeant Guy Miller to tell us more. Thank you both so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit, of course, about the Bluegrass Crime Stoppers.
Okay, Bluegrass Crime Stoppers is a organization that's kind of under the parent of Crime Stoppers USA, and Crime Stoppers USA has been around since 1976. Crime Stoppers is a global organization that is in all countries and that has got one mission, and that is to solve crime. It is that confidential conduit between the community and law enforcement, because a lot of people will know something about what's going on, but they're concerned about getting involved. They might be concerned about retaliation. They might be concerned about something, just don't, uncomfortable with it. And this is a way for people in the community to share what they know and still maintain that anonymity. Now, the other part of Crime Stoppers is that we pay cash for those tips. We don't want your information, and the information is encrypted, protected. We couldn't get it if we wanted it. But the program works. And I'll give you a summary. Between 21 and 22, we solved. We had 183 arrests from the Crime Stoppers program. 14 of those were homicides, where we got tips that led us to an arrest and a closure on that. We took over $200,000 in illegal cash off the street, approximately 100 guns that were involved in crimes, and hundreds of pounds of all kinds of different drugs. And so this is the work that's going on with that organization in harmony with the police department, and not just Lexington Police, but our Bluegrass area. So we work with agencies even outside of the state. We actually got a tip that came from Texas that involved a person who knew of a person who was hiding out here, but the tip came from Texas, and so we were able to work with the police department and help make that arrest take place, and we've done it for other organizations in other states as well.
It's a helping hand for sure.
It does, and it really works at a time when our law enforcement resources are stretched so thin. Staffing issues across the U.S. Right, law enforcement is they've got vacancies, and there's never been a better time for the community to use a tool like this to help make their communities safer. All right, if we can help shorten the runway between what has happened and then help the police find their way to who's responsible for that, then that helps them, because they've got limited resources right now too, and this is just how the program works.
Sergeant Miller, this has made a big difference for you, no doubt, right?
Absolutely. It's a great tool for our detectives. So they might have a case where they've exhausted all their leads, right? But we have a picture of a suspect, a vehicle, and they just need the community's help. We don't want to degrade the suspect, and we want to make sure the information's right that we release for the victim. But we can give that information out there to the public, and they can submit that tip anonymously. We can feed that information to the investigating detective, and they can follow up those leads. Now, some tips might not pan out, but some do, and it's pretty cool to see those tips pan out and see that arrest and see that justice for that victim.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if we are looking to possibly give a tip, how should we do that?
So there's a website that goes through Bluegrass Crime Stoppers, and you'll see that on your screen. And we've also got a phone number that's listed there as well, and you can do that through the app as well. So there's an app to do that, and there's also, you can just make a phone call if you don't want to do anything with an app.
And I'm told there's an event coming up, is that correct?
There is. Crime Stoppers is 100%, we're a nonprofit. So we are, the only way we generate money to be able to pay the tipsters is through programs like our fundraising events, which we have a golf scramble and we have a shootout. And actually, a little interesting note is we are the only Crime Stoppers organization that is doing a shootout as a fundraiser, and it's very controlled. We do this in cooperation with the police department. We do it down at their range, and they're kind enough to host the space and the safety officers and instructors to help, so it's a safe event. We want to make sure it's a safe event, but all that money goes back to pay tipsters and support the cause of Crime Stoppers. August 19th is our shootout that's coming up, and you can go to register on our website and it's $50 per person. And we have individual event entry and then team entry if they want to do that. Give away lots of good prizes. There's breakfast and lunch. There's some raffles. A lot of good ways to support the program.
Absolutely, and it'll be at the Lexington Police Shooting Range. So, like you said, they'll be right there. We appreciate both of you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.